Dude, if I can rhyme stuff, that would be amazing. I cannot.
Kind of had, G. You taught us that shit.
I skipped that. I only went to like the first movie, the
Green Eggs and Ham.
yes, and then I just fucking skipped it right after that. I was more into like Captain Underpants.
Why did they teach us that in school?
What?
Like green eggs and ham. We're gonna have a green eggs and ham school day where eggs and ham is green. Like why?
I feel like they're
Why
just,
is that?
they need to buy time. Like they need to keep us busy, entertained, just like the news does to the masses. Because at the end of the day, they don't want you to be a entrepreneur. Like they don't want you to be like a self-made.
Why? Why do you think that?
Because when, all right, let's say there's a millionaire and there's somebody new that's coming up, you're taking away from their money, from their
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah. Great.
So they need you to work for this millionaire.
Yeah.
So they're gonna just like, hey, keep you entertained. Like, hey, you need a babysitter, school till fucking 12 years of it,
You work.
plus another 4 if we can't get out of you. But it's like, hey, let's keep you over here. Cause all right, some of these people that are getting bachelors, masters, they're not getting no jobs.
Yeah.
And look at how much money they're investing in themselves. There's
In debt.
in debt. They're not getting nowhere. When you start where I started, ground level, work your way up. Why not start the second you get out of high school to start at the low, and then you end up being a manager by the time somebody who just graduated with a master's.
So what you're trying to say is school's a scam. That I feel like you're trying to say that. I agree with that though. I can 100% agree with that.
My thing would be is just the focus that you give in is what's going to dictate where you're going to go. Because if you are an A student, your freshman year, junior year, going into sophomore, principals, teachers, they're going to push you to become that AP classes,
Yeah.
the best courses in that school district. But at the end of the day, for the masses, they just want to be like, hey, you're going to be a fucking worker for the homeboy.
Yeah, I think they told me that when I was in special ed classes. Like they told me definitely like, yo, you just gonna get by. I think the whole time. But low key, I agree with that. Like, yeah, people that are making a bunch of money and went to
I got one question. Who is they? That's my biggest question.
They
Who
is the
they?
biggest
They know who they
ballers
are.
out there in the world.
The Rothschilds.
Everybody. Rothschilds,
They invented the
artists, whatever the case is, but there's an agenda that's being pushed. My thing is the beauty of TikTok, YouTube is it's going to allow it for a playing field that anybody can, with some guts, some
Yeah.
grit,
Yeah.
you're going to get the same amount of experience, exposure right then and there, but you got to want to do it. You
Yeah.
got to invest in yourself much more than anybody. And that's one thing too. It's like, you got to be almost semi-delusional to make it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'm learning. In my mind, I think I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
I'd be playing Pokemon, the theme song, all the time.
I
I want to be
the
very best that no one ever was. In my mind, when I do stuff, that's what's going on in my mind. And I feel like I've made it really far compared to like a lot of those that I know about me or around me. You got to be semi-delusional to be like the next level.
I'm trying to be a stay-at-home dad. I keep going with that
If
shit.
you don't want me to be delusional,
Oh, fuck no. Yeah.
You're only crazy until they say you're a genius. bro.
Yeah.
you can fail 99 times. All you got to do is be right one time.
Yeah. Fuck
One
yeah. And then
time.
you're a genius,
And then
all
you're a
that.
fucking genius. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it came easy for you. Nah, G. It's about putting in the work, putting in the time. But you gotta know your atmosphere. You gotta know where you're at. Because like I said, every culture is different, every world's different, every state.
And I have a question for you, bro.
Yeah.
For people that are getting into like, let's just say crypto, because you're doing amazing in crypto. Do you think it just came to you like over like a week and you studied it for a month that you're gonna know what you're doing? Did you put in your 10,000 hours for a subject? Like you obsess over it. Like I obsess over the things I love. Do you think you're obsessed with the things that you're doing in your life that you're good at? Did you obsess over it?
I do obsess over crypto. The beauty about crypto is like you go into it thinking it's like, oh hey, it's a Ponzi scheme. For some of those, it is like that, right? You buy somewhere, now you need the next guy to buy on the price above you. But my thing is, the beauty about crypto is like it's not just about a financial gain. It actually forces you to learn about financial wealth, how much to put in, how to like not to go all in on certain things, but then it forces you to learn about the world economics. Because if there's a war going on, Bitcoin's gonna crash. People are afraid, so they're like, I'd rather keep the dollar in my hand than to put it into the digital currency. But it forces you to learn much more than what you're capable of, or at least wanting to learn about. So that was my thing. As soon as I learned it, to me, it was always logical. If you go back and you study crypto itself, from the day it started to where it is now, it's gone up like 40, 100,000%. And it's timeless because now we're getting into that realm where like AI is kicking in, digital, everything is kicking in. There's metaverses. So it's like the world's going to become all digital at one point. I'm getting into that world early and I'm investing heavy. Like I'm putting up my house. I'm going to put up my house because I believe in it that much.
What about potatoes? You believe in that? That's the next.
I like me some potatoes, some bacon, some cheese on it.
I heard it's really good profit. Real good. I heard it sounds like real good profit with alcohol, but that's not a future thing that we'll look at later.
No, that's not.
Anyway, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
But are you guys invested? Are you guys getting curious about it? What are you guys' stance on type of like digital currency? Do you guys believe in it?
I know nothing of it, but I can say I don't know what's yet to come, and I feel like Diddy,
big Diddy,
big Diddy. What's yet to come? I'm gonna say it again. I feel like anything's possible, and I think Bitcoin will take over because we had India, Africa, like all the countries that mine minerals, precious minerals.
Yeah.
That's going to be something like they're doing it for a reason. So they're gathering all that for a new currency, and that new currency could bring Bitcoin or any kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Just currency. It's just currency in itself. That
new currency
because, I mean, let's say you have gold that everybody likes, trust. If I want to go on a plane and go somewhere with that gold, I'm going to get jacked.
100%.
Okay.
I can have $100 million in my wallet, in my phone, and I can be able to send it to you right here, right now. That's the difference. It's like it opens up so much more of a broad perspective of like I can hold as much. You don't even know how much I'm holding. That's the beauty of it. Because when you buy, it gives you an address. It gives you a pinpoint, but you don't know who that belongs to.
But you can see everything.
But you can see it. You can see somebody who just bought at 50,000. Sold it at 45. Somebody bought it at 60,000. Sold it at 75. Like you can see all that transaction.
You can trace that.
You just don't know who's who unless you really follow them and they give you that information.
Like this is my ID. I did this.
I purchased this amount. Like some people know about the big players, BlackRock, Grayscale. Like these big companies. There's people that literally follow when they buy $100,000 worth. People are like, okay, they're about to do something, so they can anticipate and start buying even more. But when they sell 100 million, okay, something's about to happen. I need to sell mine right now. So certain people look for every little crevice of like, okay, what's going on with big players? Because the everyday person doesn't make it move. It's companies, it's big corporations that they buy hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, and you just see it skyrocket.
And that's what's happening now, right, Fabian?
We're in 2024, and I feel like this is the year to like, if you haven't already, right now where we're sitting, when we're airing this, is like, it's in a good spot. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, but like, if you really look into it, this is a good time to at least put something in. But feel free to like look at your financials. I don't know your financials. Like,
I think the world's struggling though. I think the whole world, all this weird shit this year has been happening. All these universities protesting against Palestine in the world. I think there's a lot of like in Australia they have like this new ID system where it's like, I don't know if you've seen that that Black Mirror episode where they were talking about like your credit score.
How do you think you would do
me?
If they can track you knowing like, hey, why'd you just only buy beer this week? Like you start losing points,
Get on
and
my
then
business.
it's like it starts taking away from your money for
trying to
that
catch
week.
I'm gonna be a
Fade, dog.
defector, bro. I'm gonna be a defector. I'm catching fades. Yeah, I'm gonna do my own credit.
Like,
score
hey, government,
system.
worry about your damn business.
But imagine the government's like, nah, you're fucking up, and they're gonna take away money from your check because you're fucking up.
Because all you're doing is spending it on something that like
Yeah,
hey,
like, bro.
We're throwing tea in the fucking river again.
That's when the revolution would happen, though, right? Like, do you think a revolution is gonna happen? Because I feel like it is.
I think we're too distracted to even think about like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the probably the plot of the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're too distracted.
Yep. There's like the Diddy stuff. There's Ryan
Ain't
Garcia
did it
going
me.
crazy. There's always something going on, but if you look at a bigger perspective, there's way much more going on around you.
Yeah, I think the consciousness is growing. Like I remember I read this book that was talking about like, oh, like back in the day, like if we didn't have long enough arms to grab trees and shit, like your arms started growing, your hands started growing so you could grab shit. And like there was just all this evolution that was happening for us over time. And now when we get like warm, we put a sweater on so there's no evolution to grow hair. If we get cold, we drink,
No.
you know what I'm saying?
For example, we're all looking at our phones, so now we're gonna be hunchback
Yeah.
and like
Big back, big back.
Dog. I'm already there, dog.
Big back.
Big back theories.
Big back gorilla.
It's real, dude.
That's another thing too. It's like
real.
we're doing it as the climate changes.
Yeah, so
Hey, we're
that's-
evolving.
That's the evolution that's happening, but it isn't like a crazy evolution where we had to get eyes because we didn't see where we were going, and like our thumbs are gonna get bigger, right? Our backs are gonna get bigger, some bigger than others. Probably the biggest in this room,
He's going like
right?
this. Baby, he's not even looking
I'm
at
trying
you.
to work out, but anyway, like the evolution has stopped, and it's not as bad because anytime we get hungry, we eat. We didn't get skinny. We didn't go hunt. Like this, there's no more forced evolution, right?
Fucking
But now,
dollar menus are fucking us up.
yeah, they're for literally like the GMOs
How
are fucking us
about-
up, which is my favorite flavor.
How about we're being more able because of society to obey, and that's gonna carry on to evolution.
But this
to
is
obey.
this is the evolution because we're about to end this right here. I want to end it on this.
Yes.
The evolution is no more physical. It's now mental.
Yeah.
It's now evolution of our conscious. Our conscious is growing because our forced, like everything is perfect for us in a sense. So our minds are growing and we're seeing things that we didn't see before. Like, wait, why is the government taking this much? Why is money going over there?
Why
Like,
are we in debt trillions of dollars?
our conscience is growing. It's no more physical. It's our brains are growing and we're seeing these things that we didn't see before. We're seeing the truth in things, and that's our conscience growing.
Okay.
So it's no more evolution of physical. It's of our brain and our conscience.
And they want to
it.
be able to read your mind. So, are you ready? Comment down below. We'll be right back next week. Artificially
Open
genuine.
your mind. Open your mind.